Here I will give you an overview of what happens regarding the plans team in each process. So we're in the starting of a project process, or the pre-project phase, okay, of the project at the very start. And the first thing that happens is we create a project product description. That's actually a planning document because it's the first document that gives us an idea of the scope of the project, because it outlines an image of what the main output of the project will actually be like. So you can see that as a main product description, but PRINCE2 calls it a project product description. And that could be 1 or 2 pages, and it becomes part of the project brief along with the outline, business case, and so on. So it's an important document, and it really shapes the rest of the project, and it gives the project direction from the beginning. It can be updated during the planning stage as well as we learn more, but it's a good project, a good document to get right from the beginning, and take your time and do a second workshop, a third workshop if actually needed to get that done. Then next thing we do, the next planning document we create is a plan for the initiation stage, because the initiation stage could actually take a couple of weeks, so it needs to be planned, and that's what we need initiation stage plan for. That's there. Then the next thing, when we're in the planning stage or the initiation stage, we will start with a product breakdown structure. Sometimes this is known as a work breakdown structure, but product breakdown structure is a much better name because we first start with post-its, something like post-its, and each post-it is its own product, and then we create the requirements for each post-it. So it's a good exercise to do, and again, this could take a couple of workshops to do. So for each product that we recognize, then we can create something called a product description. So it's a requirements document, and we add the quality information as well. And it's nice to keep those as clean as possible and specify the quality criteria and in such a way that it's very easy to read and understand. Next, we create a product flow diagram. Now, I'm not a big fan of this, but PRINCE2 puts this down as one of its deliverables. But for me, it's much better just to list the product names into something like a Gantt chart and then show the dependencies between each product and when they can be created during the project. So that counts as a product flow diagram as well, if you wish, because it's the easier way to actually do it and share the information. And this all becomes part of the project plan, and the project plan is part of the PID. So the project plan is really made up of product descriptions. This would take about probably 80% of the space. All right, so that's why I like to call the initiation stage the planning stage, because that's what we do, and that gives an overview of what planning that we do, and most of the work will go into the product descriptions. Then we plan the stage. Now every stage has to be planned, and we plan each stage in the stage boundary process. So we create a day-to-day plan for the stage, and this will be used by the project manager. Sometimes during the project, we create an exception plan. Let's say if the stage goes out of tolerance. I'm not going to discuss that in detail here, just that sometimes that we actually do it. And then at the end of every stage, we always update the project plan. So we update and show what's been done. So that's good. And also maybe new products or new requirements are added at every stage of boundary process. So those should be added to the project plan as well. And maybe the end date or the final date of the project is moving back all the time. So we always have to update that. So the project plan is like a living document. So it should always represent the current status and the current projection of when the project will actually end. And that's why we update it there. And then we have the team plans as well. So during the controlling the stage process, the project manager is always handing out work to the teams in something we call work packages. So once a team gets a work package, which is a group of product descriptions to create, then they will create their own plan on how they will break down this work and deliver the products that meet the quality requirements required. Okay, it's up to them how to do it. Every team can work differently. The project manager doesn't care how they work as long as they deliver the products correctly. Okay, so that's how the teams actually work. And then at the very end of the project, we will actually update the project plan to mark off what's been created, and perhaps there are some things, and usually, especially in software projects, there are some things we just don't bother to create because we cannot do everything. We only do the most important items. and some smaller items can be done by the maintenance in the future when it's taken over by a maintenance department. Okay, so that's a full overview on what happens from a plans team point of view during all the PRINCE2 processes.